The man
Call somebody,
is back,
tell
y'all.
somebody.
We're
He's
back.
Call
He's
your
back.
mama, call your daddy.
We're back and we're back.
We're back.
Tony
The whole
McGee,
crowd's back, y'all.
We're back. Tony
Hey.
McGee. Come on.
Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee.
Welcome to Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus. I tell you what, we get an opportunity to talk about it. When we say we the plus, we talk about a lot of things. But first of all, let's talk about this Washington team. They've won 5 out of 6. Ever since Heineke been in there and Big Robinson running the ball, they seem like they came to play. We got something special for you today. We got some female professionals on the show. So when we come back, we'll introduce you to them. We'll be right back.
What's up?
Welcome back to Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus. As I told you, we're all very happy right now. Now, this Washington team, a long time ago, we didn't think they were going to do well during this season. But at the same time, we see now that they are gelling. They got 2 people that I think are really important in this team. One is the quarterback, and one is the running back. You guys know their name, Robinson and Heineke. I said a long time ago, and my co-host, who's going to introduce these other young ladies, because what we did is we went out and got professional female football players. And they're going to tell us what they think about this team. But wrong way, Donna. That's right. Said
I see, but it's going to be a tag team today, Tony, because you're the only male here today. So you're in trouble. Yeah, Tony, we got some members of the DC Divas here with us. First, Lois Cook. She's 8 years with the Divas, wide receiver. Yeah, and Kristen Jones, offensive lineman, 8 years. And also we're bringing in Morgan, who played quarterback. So we've had a variety, Tony, from the offensive line, wide receiver, quarterback here today. So, let's jump right into it, Tony.
All right. Well, ladies, let me ask you something. And I want to ask you, since I played a long time and I know how I felt when I had to retire. When you had to retire from the game, do you still have a feeling that you'd like to still be playing? And if you're not?
Absolutely. I'm sorry to jump right in. I have not officially retired because of that. I think that I've been trying to retire year after year, but you always get that itch to play. And I think at the certain time of the year, for me, it's like January when you start to really feel it. It's like, no, I can't leave the game just yet.
And Lois, that goes on a long time after you play. I remember I had a reoccurring dream where I was always trying to get to the field, always trying to get in the game, and I was always late, never was able to do it. But the one time I did get in, that's when I found out I couldn't play and I didn't have the dream anymore. So I guess it's all the same. But speaking of that, Donna, this team is starting to play a little bit right now.
Yeah, Tony, back-to-back wins right now. This team is right in the playoff chase. And although the offense did not play solid yesterday, as well on Sunday as they did against the Philadelphia Eagles, this team still won. And I want to kind of like throw this out. Chase Young is being activated this week, and you'll probably see him on the field, hopefully this week if he's ready to go. Ron Rivera announced that at his Monday press conference. So we're happy about seeing Chase Young. But Tony, the defense started off, and I'm going to hop right there first because Kendall Fuller came up with a big interception, took it in for 37-yard touchdown strike, and got this team on the board right away. Their running game has been the thing that has helped them so much, too, as far as Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. Against the Philadelphia Eagles, over 150 some yards. Against the Texans, over 150 some yards. And they had 49 attempts, I think, in the Eagles game and about 40 attempts in the Texans game. So it's the running game to me that has set this team up moving forward on the offensive side of the ball. And I'm just going to throw this out there because I know you just dying for me to talk about Heineke, who right now Ron Rivera said he's the starting quarterback moving forward unless he has some hiccups. But, the pressure is off his back to name him the starting quarterback moving forward. And Coach Rivera said because he likes what this guy is doing right now, and he doesn't want to take the hot hand off. So go on, Tony. Just go on and throw it out there.
Well, what do you ladies think about that to do? And I know you guys
I
know
like
that they're playing. We know one of us love him anyway. What do you think
I
about?
love Heineke. I love Heineke because he's
I don't think he should have. They should even have to say, "I'm going to let him play." I think that they should look at the team has rallied around him, and he's done a good job.
Yeah, exactly. I do feel like I think he's a fighter with like an underdog mentality, which I love. And he's got good energy, and the camaraderie with his teammates is obvious. And I think that's why he's been so successful. And, he's just been moving the chains. And I mean, there's a lot of things I believe that, they need to work on, like obviously converting the third downs, especially in the red zone. But I think with time, if he reads the D, if he learn, adjusts, reads the defense faster, then his passes will come out. He'll be more decisive, and his passes will come out faster. And I think we got a chance.
Hey, Morgan, I was going to say, you played the quarterback. And Kristen, before I let you hop in, because I know that you're hot on Heineke too. But Morgan, you played the quarterback position. What do you like even beyond, I guess they like his mentality as far as his energy, but you played the position. What do you like in Heineke that you're seeing right now?
I love like the sheer like grit and the fight. For every play he fights. He seems like the kind of guy who never gives up, and even though everyone makes mistakes, and he obviously he makes mistakes, he comes right back and fights till the very end. He also makes very smart plays that I'm impressed with. I enjoyed the one play, and sorry to mention, in the Eagles game when he took a knee and let those guys hit him. Like, I thought that was genius, and wish I had thought of something like that in my career ever. But I mean, if he'd done it on purpose, it would probably have been illegal, but he didn't. And I just think he's creative, and I think the more reps he gets in real games, the better he's going to get. And so I have high hopes. Really high hopes.
Hey, Kristen, you're a big fan of Heineke. What do you like?
I think I'm always going to root for an aggressive quarterback, somebody who can run, somebody who's not scared, who's going to really trust their line. So I think that's what gets me, especially as a lineman. When I think about the things I love most about my favorite quarterbacks are, the ones that are able to really stay in the pocket. They trust their line and, just follow through, and they aren't afraid to get hit. You know what I mean? I think that makes a big difference.
Well, Kristen, let me ask you this. When you are with a quarterback such as the one we have, where he's going to be moving and stuff, do you have to prepare yourself in a different way? Because I know just like on Sunday, we saw with some people downfield when they shouldn't have been and everything. As a lineman, do you like that kind of quarterback, or would you rather have one that's just stable in the pocket?
I think you need a mobile quarterback, right? You need a mobile quarterback, not a frantic quarterback, obviously, but a mobile quarterback, right? Because especially on the line, depending on what kind of D lineman you have, you never know how you're going to have to adjust. And you need a quarterback that's going to be, have spatial awareness and be able to conform with the line and put themselves in the best position to be protected.
I understand that now. So when I look at this game and see that you're a lineman and they said they're bringing Chase back, I want to ask you this question. Since you understand the quarterback position, should they bring Chase back right now? And if they brought him back and you were the offensive tackle playing against him, would you go for that knee first?
No Tanya Harding's on the field. So, I never play with the intent to injure anybody, only to put them on their back. So definitely not going to necessarily take advantage, but definitely going to be mindful of what's going to be strategically best for me to be effectively blocking. So.
Hey, Lawrence. Yeah. Hey, Lawrence, the wide receiver situation right now, you got all of them back now. Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin is having an all-pro year, over 700 and some yards right now. And then Curtis Samuel's being used in so many different ways. What do you like about that group with the mixture? I personally say, as far as that running game has helped them, but the wide receivers that they've got right now and the tools they've got there, what do you like about all the moving pieces on this offense?
I mean, it's like a perfect a perfect pair of these players. It's what do they say? A Swiss Army knife. You got the jack of all trades. You've got everything that you need. You've got Terry McLaurin, like you said, who's really doing his thing this year. And then Curtis Samuel, you can use him in any way, shape, or form. And you need that. You need the versatility of your receiving core so that you can make those you can be a deep threat, or you could be something quick and easy, and your bread and butter running it right down the field. So it's all coming together.
I like that, but the only thing that bothers me about that is I still don't like the running game yet. I'd like to see it be a lot stronger. If you look throughout the league, each and every team is that's leading their division and stuff. They got a good running game. Now Washington, it was a reasonable running game, but not the kind they are going to need when the weather changes and they're trying to get to the Super Bowl.
Tony, please. Did you just say that? I mean, I think I need to wash my ears out, or else you need to, because the running game, Tony, the last couple of weeks, I said that in the beginning, 152 yards, 153. It's the thing that's got this locomotive moving forward, Tony. So
okay.
I'm not understanding what you don't see in
well,
the
let me put it down and I'll print it out this time. Let Donna know that the running game was against a team that's got the worst average in the league.
True.
In the league. And that's why I felt Houston they should have just walked all over them, even though they did. But Houston was giving up more yards on the run than any other team in the league.
Now, they couldn't even get their running game going. I mean, they had one of the rookie running backs, and they couldn't. Damian Pierce, and he had 10 carries for 8 yards. That defense did the job. But Tony, I want to read something that Ron Rivera said. He said that after the post-game interview, after the game, he said that they have to be better. They've got to understand who they are and who they are becoming as a team. And he said they got to pay attention to the small details. This is a young team right now, but I thought that was key, understanding who they are and who they are becoming. And when you look at who this team is becoming, most teams around the league is talking about the Washington Commanders is the team to look at right now because of all the pieces they've got. And this is a young team that's not afraid of anybody right now.
And so they're looking at the Commanders. That's why I mentioned the running game, because I tell you what, when the weather changes, your game has to change. And I tell you, for 14 years, I watched that. And that's why Buffalo still now could be a favorite team because of the weather and everything. And that's why Washington must run the ball more than they're running it now. But with that being said, I notice all you ladies just talked about offense. I think the defense is the one that really turned this whole team around, and they have been playing tremendous. I mean, this first time on Sunday when you see 4 or more people getting sacks, different people. I think that's very interesting. And then they had a lot of pressure. So that defense is starting to play as well as they thought they would be playing in the beginning. But at the same time, Chase is coming back. They're starting to learn their positions better. So really, when it gets in, I start mentioning cold weather again, that defense has to continue to play with the way they're playing and stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what do y'all like about the defense? Because when I look at some stats, let me read off something. 10 takeaways in the last 3 games. They had 4 against the Eagles, and they had 2 more against the Texans. And right now they've got 12 takeaways. We talk about Kendall Fuller getting that one pick 6 at the beginning of the game and running in for the touchdown. And the secondary is really playing well. Morgan, what do you think about the secondary? And Tony, he's a defensive player, so that's the reason why he's really happy about talking about
defense wins championships.
You're right, Tony. You're right.
I might have to pass this question along to somebody who knows a little bit more about defense. Lois, hit this one up.
I'll take it. No, I'm excited because listen, in the very beginning of the season, we've all had all of our complaints were about the defense, and the Commanders said that they were going to clean it up, right? And that's what they're doing. They've made some movement. They've moved some people around, and now they're getting the job done. And what more can we ask?
Exactly. And I tell you what, and you start just looking around the division and league and everything. You look at Dallas, you look at they kind of fooled us last week as well, because I never thought they would take the Vikings apart like that. But then the Vikings, they barely beat the Washington team. So, you start looking around and teams are selling down, they're getting, and as you ladies said, they need the mobile quarterback. But right now, if you had to think about it, ladies, who would you think are the odds-on favorites to get to the Super Bowl?
Well, I feel like we have to.
I'm a Jets fan, so.
Hey, Kristen, you feeling the pain today? They laid an egg on Sunday.
You know what? As a Jets fan, you really get used to the eggs and make it. So when the way the kind of season we've had this year, it was like, it was bound to come. The Patriots have been our Goliath for many, many, many moons. So, I was just happy it was close.
Yeah, 10-3.
And
But Tony, yeah, you got to think about, when you look at all the teams right now, and you talked about the Buffalo. Let's talk about the Kansas City. I know you don't want to give them the total credit, but they came back and took that game on Sunday night, and they're leading the league right now. The AFC, they're the best team on the AFC side. But when you look at the Miami Dolphins, you got to say, hey, this is a team you better watch also. And the NFC East, they're basically saying this is the league, this is the division to watch and everything, because the Giants had a hiccup on Sunday, got beat. Philadelphia barely beat the Colts. And then you got Dallas, like you said, destroying Minnesota. And that Thanksgiving game between Dallas and the Giants should be good. And Washington, right in the thick of things, Tony, and they've got the Falcons. So it's some good games right now taking place across the league.
We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, I'd like to know what you ladies think about the way scoring is down now. It's really down. Nobody seems to score big. You will get a 30-point game and everything, but most games are real low scoring.
Must be the defense.
That's what I was going to say.
There you go. We'll be right back. You heard the ladies first. It's about the defense. We'll be back in a moment.
What's so special about you all? Because right now, this offensive line has struggled over the years.
One thing is, golly, we were together for a while. I mean, the year when we won it with Doug, I mean, I was there. I was kind of my third year, but the other guys, Mark Mays and Jacoby's and Russ and Bostic, they've been together for 7 years. So we didn't have to make calls. We knew the calls. We made dummy calls just to fool people, So it was just it was a lot of games, and I was one of those games. Don't be playing games. Hey, look, that's good blocking, So I had to get used to all of that, the side stuff that we do as the offensive line, and and that 91 year where going into that last game, we was trying to tie the whole year with just 7 sacks of the whole year. And that's a lot of games, but only giving up 7 sacks. So, but we gave up 2 against Philly because Buddy Ryan wasn't trying to give us our due. He came off the bus blitzing, so yeah, it was what it was. But in that year, I mean, we just guys still played together for a little while, and we just gelled. And you just and guys just played hard. We had guys on the bench that were really starters. We had a starting line, and we had guys like Ray Brown and Ed Simmons on the bench. We had myself, Jim Lachey, Bostic, Slorette, and Jacoby was on the other side. So I mean, golly, so Joe know when he get hurt, got got hurt a little bit, Ed came in there, didn't miss a beat. You know, if Saref got hurt, Ray Brown backed up myself and Mark and the tackles, and Bossy got hurt. I rolled in there. Ray came in. We were just interchangeable, and we just played everything. And 1 year, Jacoby got hurt. Lachey got hurt. Joe Bigger came to me. It's like, look, we're not gonna put Big Ray at left tackle. We put Ray at guard. Rollo, we're gonna put you at left tackle. I say, it's Monday night against Pat Swilling, down in the Superdome. All right, let's do it. And but it was good. Good thing. No sacks, none.
No sacks.
Hey, Tony, he was talking about the offensive line. This Washington Commanders offensive line in the last probably 3 weeks or so has really done a good job. As far as controlling the line of scrimmage. And it's basically, again, probably because of that running game.
And I tell you what, that's always, and Roller was the last of the Hogs, the original Hogs, and he was the last one to come aboard. I remember he did play every position. It seems as though this team now is trying to develop that with their team as well. But as we were taking a break, I wanted to ask you ladies, why is scoring down so much? And why is there a lot of people saying how boring the games are? I'm not talking about the Washington game, how boring around the league the games are.
Well, I definitely think you can credit.
Oh, you did. I'll finish her
You
sentence.
just lost Kristen for a minute.
No, I think she was gonna. I don't know what she's gonna say. But you can credit the defense with that because clearly, I feel like there's been a lot of defensive games. Defense is really stepping up. You can see that, defense, especially with the Commanders. I mean, that's who I'm focused on. But you can see with them, just as a testament, that when you're making these changes and making sure that your defense is locked in, you're going to see lower scoring games. So it's going to make it much harder for the offense to get anything done. But I think it's a testament to defense.
I think it's some of the quarterback play too, because you look
Yes.
across the league as far as the quarterback play, it's not as strong as it has been in the past years and everything. When you count, even Brady has struggled this year in Tampa. And you look across the league, you've got some young quarterbacks. Even Josh Allen up in Buffalo has struggled in the last couple of weeks, although, they ended up winning. But I think it's the play of the quarterback that you see the struggles offensively, because you talk about, Tony, as far as that Jets game, they scored 3 points. And this is a team that has been producing before then. So to me, it comes down, and Morgan, you were the quarterback. Yeah. But I think it's the quarterback play and the defense. Although the defense to me has been solid across the league and everything, I still think that it's more of the quarterback play. Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback right now, and you look across the league and you look at the play, you like, it is down.
And you got to change another guard now, because you got all young quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks, and those older quarterbacks now, they're having a problem with it. We knew that was going to happen. So you see in the whole league change. And the guy in Buffalo, he's one of the new young mobile quarterbacks, but he's having a problem because he got injured. That's what's going to happen to a lot of those quarterbacks. And I think it is the quarterback play, but now it seems as though the defense has figured it out a little bit better. If you notice, as the Washington team, sometimes they have 5 defensive linemen in there. More teams are doing that. It's very interesting now, and they're doing better with containing those quarterbacks because they can't let those young athletic quarterbacks get outside. So I think it's the quarterback play. I think it's a little bit of everything. But right now, this is when the Washington team is in a good position to me for the simple aspect. Winning 5 out of 6, that's really good. It should have won 6 out of 6.
Yeah, hey, Kristen, I know you were going to say something about when Tony was saying, why was the scoring down? And we lost you for a minute. So what is your thoughts on that?
Oh, I was saying I think that it definitely can be attributed to the defenses stepping it up and definitely keeping the scoring low, which obviously is the job of a defense, right? Optimally keeping it at a goose egg, because the lower the opponent's score is, the more likely you are to get the W. So at that point, if your defense is really effective, you have quarters where there's literally no movement. then it doesn't really take as, much coordination from the offense to actually pull off the W, which is, why you end up with a lot of these games that are like 10-3, 16-17, etc.
Hey, Tony, I like the fact that Kristen coming on here with her jersey on. She looking like she about ready to
What
take you out.
numbers that you have on?
I'm 78. I'm 78.
Oh, mercy.
I didn't get the memo. Right.
Couldn't have worn better one.
No, I'm not retired
Oh,
yet.
they
So,
got that jersey
this
on
is
top. That's 78. Hey, I like that.
Yeah, I don't fit in my uniform anymore. So
I wear mine every single day, so I figured y'all didn't want to see me in it today.
No, I know y'all came on to tackle Tony, but Tony, you gotta like this. The defense for the Commanders, sack-wise, that defensive front is kind of like really playing great. 29 sacks on the year. Payne and Allen each have 6.5 apiece, and Sweat has 6. They had 5 sacks in the Texans game. They're going to need that against the Atlanta Falcons coming up, because the Falcons right now, Tony, are playing well. What do you see in the Falcons as far as they're in the playoffs chase right now too, Tony?
And guess how they're doing it? Running the ball. They're the second most running team in the league right now, behind Tennessee. The coach from the Falcons came from Tennessee. He's starting to engrave that running game into them, and now that's what they are really laying their hats on. But they have a quarterback that he's okay. Their situation is somewhat similar to the Washington situation, but at the same time, he just doesn't make the plays. Their defense is coming along. Their offensive line, as I said, they're running the ball. They got some great receivers. Like, they got a tight end that runs about a 4.40, and he's 6'6". So when I see this team, I think that they can be beat, but they will be dangerous.
Hey, I'm curious, everybody. I want all of y'all to jump in. The NFC East right now, you had the Giants to lose. Everybody thought that, the Giants has emerged and they found ways to win early, but they're still at the top. Dallas, destroyed the Vikings. And then Philadelphia seemed to be having a few hiccups, even though they won against the Colts by 1 point. Who do you like the best in the East right now? Is Philadelphia slipping? What about the Giants, Cowboys? And we already talked about Washington, but what do you think about these 3 teams? And any of you all can jump in.
I will never root for the Cowboys ever.
It's kind of hard for me to do that too. And when you talk about, we're looking at the teams, and I know that, and we got to take a quick break, but I do want to say this. You start looking at these teams, and they made a lot of noise in the beginning of the year when it's not important. And right now, they're not making that same noise. But like they said back in the old Western days, the empty wagon rattled the loudest. We'll be back in a moment.
Well, we've got another player from the DC Diva, defensive back, Katria Johnson, joining us now. And before we took the break, we were talking about the NFC East teams as far as the Giants, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. We already put the Washington Commanders to sleep right now at 6-5 and right in the hunt. What are you all's thoughts as far as on the team? And Tony alluded to this as far as they started out hot and they're starting to slip right now. Who do you like right now in that NFC East? Because this is going to be a dogfight, I believe, till the end of the season, setting up those final games in the division. So anybody can jump in. I want to hear from all of you all on your thoughts of the NFC East right now.
Well, I want to say something, and I was a little afraid to say it after Kristen's comment, but I feel like, they delivered an absolute beat down on the Vikings, and I feel like their pass rush dominated. And Dak Prescott, I feel like, couldn't miss, and their ground game flourished. So I think if they can just consistently sustain this kind of play, consistently, then I think they have a really good chance of the playoffs, which might not be surprising to most people.
I'm not trying to hear that, Morgan.
I know, but I'm just looking at statistics. You know, that's how I feel about that. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the Cowboys either. All right.
Katia, let me hear from you. You're a defensive back. What do you like right now as far as this NFC East chase right now?
I am a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan.
Oh, wait a minute.
You came in at the wrong time.
Wait a minute. Oh, you are.
I am
but
so
you know
sorry.
what?
I have my negatives to say about them. I have my negatives to say about any team. And I feel as though if I can say anything negative about my own team, then I should say something negative about other teams too. Because Dallas they're not always there all the time, especially last week when they played Green Bay. You cannot play Green Bay and then come back and then play the Vikings and put the amount of points you put on the board. It doesn't make sense. So somewhere in there, somebody has to take accountability for what they did.
It seems like Dallas has a problem when a team runs right at them. If a team is running and trying to get around the edges or doing things like that, they seem to have fast enough players. But to me, it seems when the team just pounds them, that's the only time Dallas really have a big problem. But that's just what's going to happen when they're going to the playoffs. Now you look at Philadelphia. I like Philadelphia, but at the same time, they got a lot of injuries and they got to get people back. And they're going to have to change up their game plan because they always, when they go to their quarterback hurts whenever it's a big play they need, and he makes it. And it's 4 or 5 teams like that around. But I look at them, so they're beatable. And the Giants are already showing what they can do. So Washington is in pretty good shape.
Tony, you have no confidence in the Giants right now?
No.
I mean, Washington got them in a couple of weeks. But Kristen, what about the Eagles right now? What have you seen in the last couple of weeks? Well, Washington went up there and dominated them and came back with the win. But for them to come and play the Colts and barely beat them, I thought they were going to lose that game on Sunday. Are the Eagles slipping right now, or it was just the last couple of weeks?
Are the Eagles slipping? I don't know. You know what? I feel like when we get to this part of the season, right? Just like when we play our own season, it's kind of hard to see who's slipping versus who's like really going to be gearing up, right? So it's my hope that they do not let the Cowboys run over them, So I'm hoping, you say you have like, I don't know, I'm a Jets fan. So like I said, very pessimistic as far as, what your hopes are for your team. But it's my hope that they're able to really maintain their lead because out of the 4, I'd say I'm most closely affiliated with the Eagles since I'm a Jets fan and we'll never root for the Giants nor the Cowboys.
Hey, Tony, I feel a little heat right here between a couple of Cowboy fans and one.
Well, see, with all of them, you're right. With all of them playing, so they're playing good. But what we have to say is some of them are getting the cover pulled off of them, and we find out really what they made of. And what I like right now is the Washington team is on its way up, and the rest of them are on their way down, or they staying the same. So this is the time for them to make the move. We have to stop talking about Heineke is this or that. He's what we got. He's what we're going with, and he's the one that's going to win. So now you have to look at what part of your game can you develop. I look around the league, and right now it's anybody's league. I know you like Kansas City. They're great and everything, but they're also one player away from being an also midway team.
Tony, please. I know you don't believe that. Because Kansas City is not one player away.
Well, ask them ladies what they think.
Hey,
none of them say Kansas City.
Help me out with Tony. Talk about Kansas City. He's saying that Patrick Mahomes is the only thing that they really got, but Kelsey caught 3 key touchdowns in that game to win that. That's one more. And everybody thought that Tyreek Hill, this team was going to go down after they lost him, but they have not. I mean, they to me is building up steam, moving ahead. What's your thoughts, everybody, on the Kansas City Chiefs? Educate Tony, please.
Exciting to watch. I like watching him.
I do like watching them.
I like watching them. I love Travis Kelce. I love when he dominates.
Yes.
I love me some Travis Kelce.
He reminds me of like Gronkowski.
It takes more than just one person to
thank you
dominate a team.
Yeah.
You got to do it as a unit. You can't just because you lose somebody doesn't mean that you still can't dominate. Look at look at Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Look what happened when Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers. You
Mm-hmm.
can see the change and the difference as to either it's Tom Brady's team or Bill's team. And obviously the exposure was there.
Well, you know what Brady got to worry about? Father Time ain't never lost a game.
Never lost one, Tony.
That's what's happening right
I'm not
now.
sure why he hasn't had a seat yet.
We might well keep it real, but at the same time, if you look around the league, you have to look at those individuals, and it always starts to me with the running game and how much, because even with the young quarterbacks right now, and I'm asking you football players, Donna played basketball, so we'll leave her out. We'll give her a golf question. But
You gotta have skills.
no, all joking aside, if you look at these individuals and you look at the way they're playing now and everything, it's going to be young mobile quarterbacks that's taking this game over. That's all we might well get ready for that. And along with them, as you said, the coaches have to change their ideology as well as the players. But it always begins, and trust me, young ladies, always begin, as you all know, with running game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tony. Well, I like to know the Baltimore Ravens. I want y'all to talk about them because they are barely winning games, and I think that this is a team that even though they're at the top of their division, that's the team to me is a weak link in that division overall. It's not strong anyway. But what's your thoughts on the Baltimore Ravens? And Tony talked about Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes being a one-man show. Well, definitely in Baltimore, that's a one-man show, and he's not going to be able to take them to the big stage, I don't think, this year.
I don't know.
I totally agree with you for a change.
What? Okay, I'm about to ready to stand up and clap my hands.
I say because it's just a one man. It is, and I was thinking about them as you were speaking. When he's hurt, they're not the same. When Patrick Mahomes is hurt, they're not the same. But you take a look at that Buffalo team, the quarterback is hurt right now, but they still got other people making plays. So they got a chance. If you take away the quarterback from any of these teams in the East, they can't make it. And that includes the Washington team. So quarterbacks are very important. And what you have to think about, some of them getting old, some of them getting hurt. But really the thing that we all start talking about is team. That's what's important.
Yeah. Well, talk to me about as far as the teams right now that you see, each one of you all, who stands out in your mind right now? And we're midway through the season. Morgan, who do you like? And everybody else jumps in to tell us who is the hot team right now moving forward? Who stands out in your mind?
I think a lot of it's going to depend on, the Eagles and the Cowboys on Christmas Eve, because they're going to decide probably who the number one seat in the NFC East is. So I feel like the Eagles are strong. They make mistakes, but they still come back and still overcome every time. I feel like they were, the Eagles were facing that 10-point deficit, and then for the first time in 12 seasons, they came back to win after a deficit like that. So that's good. Jalen Hurts, I think he'll come through. Obviously, I already said the Cowboys, but I also want the Commanders, and Heineke to come through and do great. So I hope we get to have that chance. But yeah, Eagles definitely looking strong. Cowboys look strong.
Hey, Lawrence, what about the Titans? Somebody has mentioned the Titans, and they just seem to be winning. They've got a solid running game right now. What's your thoughts on that team?
Not really a Titans fan.
Well, one thing about them, they got a lineman running the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like marks of desperation.
Kristen has ran the ball as a lineman.
I have one time. It was a shining moment, but trust me, it was not playing.
Can she take Daryl Green in the 40?
Let's not push it.
I got my money on Kristen.
Yeah.
I also put money on me.
Yeah, but Kristen said don't push it. But Tony, you know, talking about the whole league right now, when you look across the board AFC, and we talked about Kansas City. I know that you're not confident totally in Buffalo right now, but who do you see right now that you would put your money on to say this team right now is playing the solid? Because you played in the past and everything at this stage of the season. Who do you like right now?
Yeah, we used to fold our helmets up and put them in our back pockets. So I did play in the past. But at the same time, if you look at what the 49ers did, that move when they got that new running back that can do everything, the defense is coming back. Some of the hurt people are getting back, and they know how to win games. So the Shanahan got that team going right now. Everybody keep your eye on the 49ers. If they can go without injuries, that's who I got right now. And we're going to take a break. And that's my game, and I'm sticking to it because I got to pay down a hybrid. We'll be back in a moment.
You can. Like this. You got this?
Could you demonstrate that first one again?
Oh, yes. In. All right. It's right there. See, Tony definitely will do this, though. Imagine Tony doing this. That's comedy. We would have so much fun with this. Him doing this right here.
Hey,
Tony,
Rick,
that's why you got to come, bro. I got to see what you can do.
he can't even get one leg up with that one.
Here we go. In. Out this way. All this out through the corners. Yep. And back. There you go. Yep. This will be comedy watching. Let's try to do just one. You gotta help him up. I'm sorry, Tony. Hands off the ground. Up. For you. Boom. And try to go over that one too.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why you gotta be right in the center. Boom. Straight legs. Yeah.
Oh my God.
See the guys, the way she's doing it, it's good. But the more advanced way, and if your lower abs are stronger, you better keep your legs straight. And right now, she's not able to do that. But it'll come.
Tony, let me say, I know y'all were laughing, but I'm telling you,
No,
that
it
was
looked hard.
so hard because
I know.
the ab, if you don't have it strong and everything. Hey, and ladies, talk about it to me because I know that you all have to get in top shape as far as for the season. They were, mess with Tony as far as doing that one, but I had a hard time myself. What is the training workout getting ready for the season like for all of you all?
Hey, Donna, first of all, first stop, Ricky Irvin's training camp. Next up, come on, join the DC Divas.
Okay.
She worked out with Ricky.
You might have one up on me on the abs.
Look, I retired from competitive sports. I'm gonna be the coach on the sideline.
Wait a minute. He talking about me doing one. I just pulled a muscle watching it.
No, but seriously, like
That's a tough one. Now I'm Donna. I am really surprised that is a tough one, and you did a great job with that.
And Tony, I couldn't straighten my leg like Ricky said that, for beginners, you can bend it a little bit. I tried to have it straight as much as possible, but he was saying that you have to have a strong core and all the breathing and all that goes into it. But ladies, talk to me about just y'all's training.
Yes.
I know it's hard.
Absolutely. It's a full-time commitment. You got to realize that, especially in the off season is what prepares you for in season. You don't wait until you get in season to start doing anything. But everything you do, whether all the decisions that you make off the field are what are going to support you on the field. So for us, as far as practice is concerned, we are typically a every single day team, whether we're on the field, in the gym, or in chalk talk and learning plays and installing plays, because it's not just physical, it's also very mental. So yeah, we do a lot of strength training, conditioning, and then of course putting together the agility and the drills, and putting together actual football skills, working on that.
Hey, Tony, like you said back when you played, you said not only did you all have the football end of it, but you all also had jobs full-time jobs, and these ladies also have full-time jobs along with, as Lloyd said, training every day and everything. It takes a lot of work to be able to even this craft. But I'm curious as far as when does the season start? When does the training start? Because like I said, you all have full-time jobs too.
Well, the training never really ends, especially now with our new coaches and our new ownership. We've actually, for the last couple seasons, been training year round. So, the DC Divas are always in training, are always in preparation, which I think is super, super, super critical because I know, I don't know about other teams, but I know when we had those long off seasons, it would be very, very possible that everybody would get completely out of shape. And then it would be hard to ramp up, come December or January when you had training camp and when official practices would start. So, as of right now, we do weight training together, we do strength and conditioning together, and we have practices as well on our off season in order to make sure that nobody's getting out of shape, which I think is going to be pivotal.
And we also,
yeah,
I was just going to jump in that we also do individual, like in our own individual position groups, we do separate workouts as well, like to have accountability for each other. But that's just the commitment that we have to the game.
And for players like me that have injuries, I also do physical therapy in order to make sure that the injuries that I might have incurred the season before are being healed in the time before the next season. And then, obviously the muscle group strengthens.
That's very important what you just said, number 78. That's what I'm going to call you from now on. Because you know what? That was one of my businesses I had when I first got out of the game was physical therapy. Because physical therapy is what allowed me to play as many games, as many years as I did. And I had to have it each and every week. But when does your season start? And tell how long is it? And how can people get tickets or get to you guys' games and stuff?
Our season kicks off in April. And then we typically will have between 6 to 8 regular season games, and then we have 2 playoff games and then a championship. So anyone can get tickets through dcdivas.com. We are fully available and accessible on social media as well as online. So we're also televised. So on Saturday nights, you can catch games on For the Fans Network, and also ESPN2 will televise our championship game.
Hey, Katira, Kristen talked about you all are under new management and so forth. And when you look at the Washington Commanders, they might be under a new leadership and everything. Talk to me a little bit about your old management and moving forward now with a new management that's got the Divas right now.
I feel as though we're very adaptable. A lot of the players are very adaptable when it comes from transitioning over from new management to from old management to new management. But overall, the team has the camaraderie of the team, the accountability of the team has been very great when it came to us going from one coach to another coach. And the coach that we currently have, she's amazing. So she does everything she can and to set the bar for us so that when it's time for us to hit the field, we have everything that we need and everything going forward.
You all have been successful too, right? It's some championships that you all have contained. How many championships? Because this DC Divas team has been successful over the years.
We have 3 national championships titles. We have 2006, 2015, and 2016. But we have a host of division titles as well. We have an overall record of approximately, give or take a few, approximately 146 wins over about 39 losses. So we are a very successful team.
Tony, you hear that, right?
Oh, ladies. Excellent. Yes. Yes.
They're consistently good.
Now, tell me about a day, if you can, and we have to take a break in a little while, but tell me about a day in training camp. And how long is your training camp?
Well, traditionally, our training camp is pretty much all day. It usually starts check-in around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. We go into some warm-ups, and then we break out into position groups. And a lot of the times we are still doing circuit training, but in the position groups to try to accommodate, everybody's speed. Obviously, the wide receivers, other skill players are going to have be a little faster through some of the drills than with the linemen. And then after we go through some of those drills, we go into some indie periods, and we start, working on some of our more position-oriented drills. And then usually there's a lunch, and then at least the last couple of camps, we then had about hour, 2 hours of lunch and break time, and then we went into weight training. So that's actually where we're, just testing everybody's strength, seeing, what needs to be worked on, who needs to, improve what, and then go into some chalk talk. So it's a good, well-rounded day of physical activity, both indoor, outdoor, and then you also have some time for some camaraderie and relationship building in between.
Now you hear it, ladies and gentlemen, that's what training camp is. No matter if you are male or female, it's an all-day job. We'll be back in a moment.
Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus Speakers Bureau offers you various opportunities to connect with former and current players along with Tony and the crew. For more information, go to redmagplus.com Speakers Bureau.
Welcome back. Now, one thing, fans, we wanted to have this show with some female football players, and we want you to know just because they're females don't mean that they can't play football. And we want you to look for them and go see these young ladies play. Now, when you speak about things that women can't do, I'm going to turn the picks over to Donna Hawkins because she have a little problem.
One thing, Tony, we've been struggling at. We probably needed these young ladies to help us with our picks because last week we all were awful.
I know
it. You can see the picks up on the screen, the games this coming week. Hopefully, you know what? We'll do a better job than what we did the previous week. And hopefully this Washington football team, Tony, Washington Commanders team, I said, will come back and have a great game against the Atlanta Falcons, who is up and coming right now also. It won't be an easy game.
Now, I want to ask you, ladies, we got about a minute left. What do you think? I'm going to ask each one of you again. Be very quick. What do you think the Washington team needs to do to win this game?
Heineke.
Heineke. That's
Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump in. Stay consistent with that defense because defense is locked in right now. It's doing a really good job, but also to convert on third down.
I say convert on third down and keep running the ball.
There you go. There you go.
I'm going to say for them, I'm going to say that they just need to utilize their weapons. So don't just run, but also make the other team second guess what you about to do.
And I want to tell all you ladies, you did an excellent job. Thank you for coming on the show. I want you to come back again. And one thing about it, you know your game and you play your game. We like to see that. So as we do on this show, we never say goodbye. We say in the minute.